Hello, and welcome to Ninja Paramedic Guy. Today we've been requested to cover the basics of EKGs, and to do so, we'll be using our handy-dandy graphing paper of science! Stay tuned, and we'll be covering the basics of EKGs. Ninja Paramedic Guy, Ninja Paramedic Guy, Ninja Paramedic Guy. Medics rule. Ninja Paramedic Guy.
Accidents are the cause of trauma.
Ninja Paramedic Guy. Ninja
Rescue 804, riding on scene.
Ninja Paramedic Guy. Alright, first things first, let's draw out the EKG lines. All done. Alright, now as you can see, an EKG paper consists of this nice little grid. Now looking at the very top, if you'll notice these two big hashes here. On your EKG, whenever you see these big hashes, that represents a passage of 3 seconds worth of time. Each of these small blocks is worth 0.04 seconds. In terms of width going this way. If you combine 5 of them together and make a big box, that gives you 0.2 seconds going this way on the axis. Now if you're going vertically on the axis, you have, by the little boxes, 0.01 millivolts or 1 millimeter. And if you go by the big boxes, you have 0.5 or 5 millimeters on the vertical axis. Now, on an EKG, if there's no electrical activity and it's not hooked up to a patient, or if the patient is dead in an asystole, you'll see what's called the isometric line. This is a straight line that travels all the way across the EKG, like such. Now, this line represents the 0 point of all electrical activity. Anything above is considered positive electrical activity. Anything below is considered negative electrical activity. Now, when it is connected to a patient, it'll usually follow the tracing of the heart's electrical activity, which typically will look something like this. Now, to break this down, there are multiple parts. The initial part right here, this little first hump, is referred to as a P wave. This big spike here is referred to as the QRS. This final hump here is referred to as a T wave. Now, between the P and the QRS complex is called the PR interval. This will come in important later when we're covering heart blocks. This segment here, between the QRS and the T wave, is known as the ST segments. This comes into importance when you're looking for signs of a myocardial infarction, such as ST elevation. After the T wave, there can sometimes be other waves known as U waves, which will be right in here. If you start seeing those, that's usually a sign of hypokalemia. To review, P, QRS, T, the PR interval, the ST segment. Now, some important things to note here. The PR interval should never be more than 5 boxes or 0.2 seconds. The QRS should never be more than 3 boxes wide or 0.04 times 3, which is 0.12 seconds. Finally, the QT interval, that should not exceed 0.45 seconds in men, or 0.47, so an average of 0.46 or 11 to 11.5 boxes. A final important thing to remember about an EKG printout such as this is that there's going to be at least 3 channels of which you're going to be doing your comparison. These typically are 1, 2, and 3. However, some medics prefer to substitute lead 1 for AVF. Well, that's all we'll be covering for today. This has gotten you at least a basic rudimentary understanding of EKGs in terms of being able to identify the different parts of the heartbeat, as well as understanding what the boxes represent on the EKG. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.